Good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Torrance. I'm the Executive Director here at the Bennington Museum. Welcome to our Tours at 10, where today we're going to be talking about our Regional Artist Gallery. It's a changing exhibition space where we showcase some of the work of our local, very talented local artists. Joining me today is my cohort in these Tours at 10, Jamie Franklin.
Good morning, Jamie Franklin, curator here at the Bennington Museum. We're standing in Scott Barsky's exhibition, Gritty Streets to Green Mountains. The exhibition traces the arc of Scott's career from his early years in New York City, working as a street artist, creating tags and work inspired by graffiti. Like paintings like this that include kind of pictographic depictions of mountains. You can also see his first tag, which is like a mountain with a cloud floating over the top of it, but kind of breaking down imagery into its most basic form. And you know, these paintings, that's a drawing or work on paper. This is a spray painting, so this is using the same materials and techniques that graffiti artists and street artists would use in the streets of New York. Moving on down the gallery, we also have some photographs of some of his actual street work. So he lived in Lower Manhattan on the Lower East Side, and in the early 1980s there were a lot of abandoned lots, abandoned buildings, and so in his neighborhood he created kind of like an art walk. So this is one of his iconic pieces, King on a Throne, which he created there in his neighborhood. And he would continue to develop the system of kind of symbolic language, different imagery, mountains, king on a throne, angel-like figures that he would repeat throughout his work over the years. And as you move through the gallery space, you can kind of see the evolution of his work. Down here, as you move further into the gallery, work from the last few decades. Beginning in the 1990s and early 2000s, he began to layer these symbols so that you can make out, you know, leaves, flowers, a face, various patterned motifs that he was inspired by indigenous work, the carpets from Central and South America where he traveled to regularly. And he kind of absorbed all of these influences and inspirations and made them very much his own. You can see over in this wonderful painting, again, you get the motif of the mountains throughout this exhibition because he was very much grounded in the landscape of Vermont, having grown up and worked here much of his life. But this is a painting inspired by kind of indigenous spirituality. The mountains of Central and South America, and this cloud-like form that you see here. He was actually inspired by an incident in which he saw another famous street artist, Jean-Michel Basquiat, at an exhibition in New York City, and he was surreptitiously painting on the wall behind him. And so Scott took that technique of painting behind his back to kind of convey this kind of cloud of knowledge or spirituality that he incorporated into this painting. And then lastly, you can see some more of his spray paintings. Again, paintings inspired by street art techniques, but he's doing them on canvas and bringing them into the gallery space. This is called Farmer's Daughter. When I asked my son Enser what he thought this painting was, and actually Scott was there, he says it looks like an alien spaceship with a light blinking on top of it floating over a mountain, and Scott loved that. Even though in his mind, Scott's mind, he was making this image of the farmer's daughter, which is kind of this iconic folk figure in tales throughout time from different parts of the world. He makes them, breaks them down into their basic kind of visual kind of components of a triangle or this like bowler-like hat. But Enser saw a spaceship, and Scott really loved that. And that's what art is about artists relating to people and allowing them to come to their own interpretations.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for this great tour of Scott Barsky's art in our Regional Artist Gallery. We can't wait to be able to show this to you. Good news, we're extending this exhibition for when we open up, when the pandemic ends, and so we can't wait to see you back here at the Bennington Museum. The best days at the Bennington Museum, of course, are when there's kids and people enjoying the galleries. We're doing the best we can right now to bring you as much content on these tours at 10. If you enjoy what we're doing and think it's appropriate, we'd love to have your support. You can go online and buy a membership. Our gift shop is open online. You can check that out. Of course, we want you to do all you can to stay safe. Please get out there and support your local businesses and organizations. I know that together we're going to get through this and we're going to come out stronger. Thanks so much. We look forward to seeing you at our next Tours at 10.